Have you ever found yourself doubting your abilities, feeling inadequate, or being overly critical of yourself? If so, you're not alone. Many of us experience moments of self-doubt and negative self-talk, which can impact our self-esteem and our well-being. Today we'll explore the topic of negative self-appraisal, what it is, why it happens, and how we can overcome it to cultivate a more positive and compassionate relationship with ourselves. First, we will define what negative self-appraisal means, explore the underlying causes, and examine strategies for avoiding negative self-appraisal. Let's start by defining what we mean by negative self-appraisal. Negative self-appraisal involves forming unfavourable opinions about ourselves. This often leads to feelings of worthlessness, inadequacy, or self-criticism. It can manifest itself in various ways, such as half self-judgment, comparing oneself unfavourably to others, or focusing on perceived flaws and shortcomings. Next, let's explore some of the common factors that contribute to negative self-appraisal. These may include early childhood experiences, traumatic events, social comparison, perfectionism, rejection or failure, internalized stereotypes, mental health issues, and lack of support. By understanding the root causes, we can better address and overcome negative self-beliefs. Early childhood experiences. Negative self-belief can develop in childhood due to experiences such as criticism, neglect, abuse, or a lack of validation from caregivers or authority figures. Traumatic events. Traumatic events such as accidents, loss of loved ones, physical or emotional abuse can lead to feelings of worthlessness, guilt, or shame, contributing to negative self-appraisal. Social comparison. Constantly comparing oneself to others and feeling inadequate or inferior can result in negative self-evaluation. This can be exacerbated by the prevalence of social media, where people often present idealized versions of their lives. Perfectionism. Having standards that are too high from ourselves or others can make us always criticize ourselves and feel unhappy with who we are, which adds to feeling bad about ourselves. Unrealistic expectations. Wanting to be perfect in everything or setting goals that are too hard to reach can make us feel like we're failing and not good enough. Rejection or failure. Experiencing rejection, failure, or setbacks in various aspects of life, such as relationships, academics, or career, can reinforce negative self-beliefs and undermine self-confidence. Negative feedback. Receiving repeated negative feedback or criticism from others without balanced positive reinforcement can erode self-esteem and contribute to negative self-appraisal. Internalization of stereotypes. Believing negative things about ourselves because of what society says about our gender, race, who we love, or if we have a disability, is called internalizing stereotypes. For example, thinking that girls aren't good at math or that people of a certain race are lazy can make us feel bad about ourselves. Mental health issues. Conditions such as depression, anxiety, or low self-esteem can distort perception and contribute to negative self-appraisal. Lack of support. Inadequate social support or a lack of positive role models can make it challenging for individuals to develop a healthy self-concept and self-esteem. Negative self-appraisal can have profound effects on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, relationship difficulties, and even impact our performance in various areas of life.
Now, let me introduce two books which will help us change our self-doubt into self-confidence. The first book is The Confidence Gap by Russ Harris. This book explores the concept of self-confidence and provides strategies for overcoming fear and self-doubt. Here are some key points from the book. Understanding confidence. Harris emphasizes that confidence is not about feeling certain or fearless, but rather about taking action despite uncertainty or fear. True confidence comes from doing what matters to you, even in the face of self-doubt. Consider a student who wants to improve her public speaking skills, but feels nervous and insecure about speaking in front of others. Instead of waiting until she feels completely confident, she joins a public speaking club. And despite of feeling uncertain and fearful, she actively engages in opportunities to practice and receive feedback. In this way, she demonstrates true confidence by taking action despite her initial hesitations and fear. The role of thoughts. Harris discusses how our thoughts influence our confidence level. He introduces the concept of cognitive fusion, which refers to being stuck in unhelpful thoughts and beliefs. By learning to detach from these thoughts and see them for what they are, just thoughts, we can develop greater confidence. Mindfulness and acceptance. The book emphasizes the importance of mindfulness and acceptance in building confidence. Harris introduces mindfulness techniques to help individuals to become more aware of their thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. For example, before a meeting, some people will take a few minutes to sit quietly and focus on their breath, bringing their attention to the present moment. As they observe their thoughts and feelings without judgment, they begin to notice the physical sensation of anxiety in their body, such as a racing heart or tense muscles. And instead of trying to suppress or avoid these sensations, they acknowledge them with curiosity and acceptance, recognizing that it is natural to feel nervous in challenging situations. By practicing mindfulness in this way, they create a sense of space between themselves and their anxious thoughts, allowing them to respond more calmly and confidently during the meeting. Over time, as they continue to cultivate mindfulness and acceptance, they find that their confidence grows, and they become better equipped to handle stressful situations with resilience and assurance.
The second book that will help us overcome self-doubt and develop strength is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. This shares valuable insights on living a fulfilling life by embracing imperfection and vulnerability. Here are the key points. Being true to yourself. Brown encourages us to be genuine and authentic rather than trying to be perfect or seeking approval from others. Facing challenges with courage. Instead of avoiding difficult situations, she suggests facing them bravely, as vulnerability can lead to growth and connection. Dealing with shame. Brown discusses how shame can affect our lives and provides strategies for building resilience and self-compassion to overcome it. For example, feeling embarrassed about a past mistake or failure such as forgetting an important information during a presentation at work. We can overcome this feeling of shame by acknowledging the mistake, learning from it, and practicing self-compassion by reminding ourselves that everyone makes mistakes and it's an opportunity for growth. Embracing imperfections. Rather than striving for perfection, she advises us to accept our flaws and vulnerabilities as part of being human. For example, some of us may feel ashamed about struggling with body image issues and comparing one's self unfavourably to the societal standards of beauty. Strategy for overcoming shame. Practicing self-acceptance and challenging unrealistic beauty standards by focusing on qualities and strengths beyond physical experience. Seeking support from loved ones or a therapist can also help in building resilience and self-compassion. Showing kindness to ourselves. Brown emphasises the importance of treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, especially during tough times. Letting go of comparisons. She urges us to avoid comparing ourselves to others and instead focusing on being grateful for what we have. Setting boundaries and taking care of ourselves. Brown highlights the significance of setting boundaries and prioritising self-care to maintain healthy relationships and well-being. For example, imagine you have a friend who often calls you late at night to vent about their problems, causing you stress and disrupting your sleep. To maintain your well-being, you decide to set a boundary by kindly explaining that you need to rest at night, but offer to talk during the day instead. By prioritising your need for sleep and setting this boundary, you're taking care of yourself and maintaining a healthier relationship with your friend. Overall, the book teaches us that embracing our imperfections, being vulnerable, and staying true to ourselves can lead to a more fulfilling and authentic life.
Negative self-appraisal is a common experience that many of us face, but it doesn't have to define us. By understanding its causes and effects and implementing practical strategies for change, we can break free from self-doubt and cultivate a more positive and empowering relationship with ourselves. I hope you found these tips helpful. Our channel is dedicated to support your personal growth journey. Remember, self-development is a lifelong journey, and reading is a powerful tool on this path. So keep relaxing, learning, and growing. Thank you for watching.